In example 6, we need to find the remaining trig values if theta is in quadrant 3. This is going to be important. And the sine of theta is negative 3 over 5. When we understand the sine of theta to be negative 3 over 5, we're going to utilize our y over r. The r is a radius. The radius is always positive. In this case, it's the negative 3 here. That's the y. So if we begin by setting up x, y, and r, we said that y was negative 3. R is always positive. It's 5. If we try to plot this, we've got a couple different choices. The radius has to be 5 and y has to be negative 3. So let's make this the y. And our angle could be maybe here, where that radius is 5. Or it could be over here. Either way you cut it, you've got a y value of negative 3 here, the radius of 5. That's where this comes into play. We're told that it's in quadrant 3, so we know that this angle won't work. The sine is negative both in quadrants 3 and 4, so this would be tough if you didn't know that. You'd have to, I guess, provide a couple different solutions. If we draw our reference triangle, we've got negative 3 here. You could use the Pythagorean theorem here, but this is also a triple. 3, 4, 5. Make sure that you're including your negative sign here. To get to this point right over here, we totally need to go left and down. Keep in mind we're not on the unit circle, so we're going to need to do some different things here. So now we know that our x is negative 4. Quadrant 3, both x and y should be negative. All we need to do is set up our trigonometric ratios. So the sine of theta is y over r, or negative 3 over 5. You wouldn't have to do this one for real just because it's up here, but I like to do this one as a double check just to make sure that I got my other stuff and my information written down correctly. And we do have the same sign in the problem. If you got like negative 4 or something over 5 or 3 over 5, you would go back and say, wait a minute, something's wrong, and you can catch a negative sign that way pretty easily. The cosecant's nice and easy to do at the same time. We'll just use the reciprocal of the sine, negative 5/3 it is. The cosine of theta is x, which is negative 4 over r, which is 5. And for the secant, we'll just use the reciprocal. The tangent of theta is going to be y over x, which is negative 4. And we want to simplify that to 3/4. Try to write that without those negative signs there. The cotangent of theta then would be 4/3. So really not too bad. As an instant recap, figure out whatever trig function you're given, figure out which makes sense for either one of those values, knowing that r is always positive. Understand which quadrant you're in. You can draw a reference triangle if you'd like. And we know we have a y value, an x value, and an r value. And once you have those values, you're off to the races. You can set up any one of these when you know x, y, and r.